planned it, so you would have to make a difficult decision. I am the 13th man. Or am I the 4 man? Mordecai. Got back from the job. Well, great. Victoria. Last time, let's do a little catch-up, shall we? And then we'll do some mustard. So, last time, I was working on this hand, I baked it, and all these colors started seeping through. And ruining everything. Which I was only semi-upset with, because I was also unhappy with how thick and sausagey all the fingers were ending up, because they were already as thick as I wanted them, and then adding another layer of skin over it obviously makes it yet again thicker. So, yeah, I did a test with some fingernails. I really like that messing back. Yeah, it's got that little bit of a U shape under there. Translucent into. That's because I sculpted the fingernails with this kind of weird texture underneath it. I don't have them bifurcated like these ones are, but the same basic idea. Anyway, so yeah, I started over again, and it took me a couple days. Yesterday I literally just worked on this for 12 hours to get it back to where I was before, but I'm happier with it. It's a little side by side, shall we? So, oh, by the way, you guys hear me over the music? This is Dubstep Dog. Hello to Italy. Mordecai. Music is overpowered. Okay. I had a loss of balance with music. Everything I said was right over your head. Okay. Okay. Tell me how this is. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I forgot to turn it down after my intro. I started over again. That's what I basically said. I started over. I had this. I got stains where I think it was the primer. The primer seeping through when I baked it somehow. Look, like right there, it's like super stained. Amy, welcome. Just for a few minutes, okay. Yeah, so I was unhappy with how this was turning out. It was all thick and fat fingered anyway, and it got stained, and like I made this hand, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, so it's like I could do better. So I started over again, and I decided to make it more dynamic. So everything's kind of more the pose is more exaggerated. Like you can see right there how different these maybe it's not immediately super apparent, but to me, I'm happier with it. And I did this this fingernail technique that I'm pretty happy with, where I used translucent Sculpey, and I dug these kind of U-shaped trenches in there, so you get some of that U-shaped whatever it is that nails do. Yeah, so I spent 12 hours yesterday. Completely ignored my in-laws. I was a very bad host, and just like powered through this to get it back to where it was. And now I got to do this part, and now I'm super stressed because the clay that I mixed, which is a very specific mix of 3 different clays, there's only a tiny bit left. So I have no idea if I'm going to be able to cover this and what I'm going to do if I can't, because there's no way I'm going to be able to recreate this blend. It has clay I don't have anymore, and I don't remember the exact amounts that I mixed to begin with. Now what was I calling it? Not a grind ball, not a slime ball, but a scum ball? I don't know, whatever it is that I put all the dirty bits in and I rub in my hands to get all the fuzz and stuff off of my fingers. This has been growing, so I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll use the scum ball for the palm, and it's not exactly the same blend, but it's fairly close, and there's all this dust that's going to be kicked up on it anyway. You can see there's a lot of dust on the guy's cage here, so yeah, I'm probably going to try that, but even then I don't know if this is going to be enough. We'll find out, is what we'll do. We will find out. Miguel, hello. It says, just make a third hand. 12 more hours, no biggie. Right. Great idea. You know, honestly, it's something I wouldn't even put past myself, so I totally would not put it past myself. So one thing I could do is do most of the bulking with my scum ball. It's hard to know exactly how much bulking I'm gonna need. Well, I certainly know I'm gonna need more thumb meat. Oh yeah, I gotta record this. Okay, cover your ears. I'm gonna clap real quick. Have to do a sound sync because I got two cameras going at once. I don't need these little jewels poking out anymore. Oh, hand meat. Okay. So part of the reason of blocking it in like this is to have these tendons as landmarks, reference points, and as I fill in the meat around them, I'm kind of covering those up to a certain amount, which is not great. But I think I can remember where they are pretty well. I know I'm going to snap this off if it stays on there. I already broke this little guy off. I should have made this out of epoxy sculpt or even some thick styrene. It's not thick. I have black styrene right here. I could have used, well, if it keeps snapping off, I'll have to do that. Now, the problem with using the scum ball is that it's filled with all these little specks of stuff, which if it's close enough to the surface and this clay is thin enough, it'll show through. Although it could just kind of look like freckles at that point. So as long as there's some I don't know, maybe like 1/2 millimeter of clay covering it, it's probably fine. Mr. Beno, hello! It's like filling in the area between the what are these tendons? Kind of defeats the purpose of having made the tendons. But I guess if I wasn't filling them in with this, I'd be filling them in with the other stuff. I would just be putting kind of a coat over everything. And maybe it's the fact that I'd be doing it all at once. I would preserve the landmarks of the tendons better, but I don't know. Gotta do what I gotta do with the resources that I made available to myself. You know, when I was mixing, I thought, man, this is way more than I'm going to need. Which is a common theme in my work, is I always think things will take less time, less money, less energy, less sanity, less material than they do. It is the downside to being an optimist, I suppose. Amy says, I'll maybe be back in an hour. Last minute SAT BS. Taking it next week. Wow, finally. I'm very happy to hear that your awful testing regime, or both, will finally be over. Linda, almost missed us. Yeah, sorry, I got on a little late. It's been a rough Thanksgiving weekend for me. I put in a 12-hour day redoing this hand yesterday, and then I've just been any 4-day weekend I end up like getting to the point where I'm going to sleep at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I wake up at 11 to 12, and it just keeps getting pushed back later and later. And I was eating like crap for most of the weekend, so I was just feeling kind of blah. And things were discombobulated because the in-laws were visiting, so all of that just led to a later start today. But I'm glad you could make it, Linda. I know I want like some nice padding there. I may actually just use a different clay for that. Since I'm sure, well, I'm semi-sure it's going to be like covered. I won't have to dig into it. This is what? Pro Sculpt. Close is this in color? It's not too far off. I'll bet if I mix a little bit of white into this, I can probably get a pretty good proxy. Although when it bakes, you never know how different it's going to turn out. Give that a try though as a backup plan. This little poochy bit right there is what I'm trying to recreate here. So you've got the core of the hand meat, but then you have this other little pillowy blob there that I want to try to recreate. I need some more cushion for the pushing right there too. This hand does not have nearly enough junk in the trunk. Actually, I think I'll use some living doll for this stuff. If I end up with moonies and bubbles and stuff with this, it won't matter because it will be under the main surface. a little bit needs to go down there. This area, there's actually some muscles there that bulge up when you do that, so I probably need to make sure those are in there. Okay, so far my playlist is working out. I learned that if I actually create a playlist rather than just pointing at the directory in VLC, it will play all the songs randomly rather than just the first song on every album randomly. So that's cool. I've been slowly weeding out the songs that YouTube marks as you know, belonging to someone else or whatever. Which is super annoying because I used their dumb search algorithm on all of the albums that I had in there, but it's still, it's either marks them as like a different artist than what is actually on the disc, or does like a, I don't know how their system works, but it's dumb. It's a dumb system. Like, why they can't just split, you know, give some of the profits to the artist instead of like completely taking everything. It's not like I'm hurting any of these artists by having music in the background or stealing their money. I'm happy to share profits with people who make good things. Obviously, I like this music enough to have it in the background, but it's not... never mind. I'm rambling because I'm out of sorts right now. Okay. This actually, let's see, it's got a little bit of a taper up into there that I've not accounted for properly. Let me get a different memory card and camera. Uh-oh. I'm out of 64 meg cards, down to 32. At 4K, that means I get about 5 minutes of video. Nah, I don't know if that's the actual amount, but it feels like it. getting all my clays mixed up now. This is the scum ball. Yeah. You tell because it looks like it's filled with pepper. Occurs to me though, one thing I can do to ameliorate the different clay mixes is I can really work on smoothing them together, because if you look closely at the color of a hand, it's got lots of different colors in there, and like depending on how you hold your hand, how the skin is stretched, like it can be more, well, for Caucasian skin like mine, to be like more yellowish, more reddish, little bits of like purple. So it's not a big deal for the colors to not be completely monotone. I'm gonna have to break it up with paint after I bake it anyway, so. Like the Sculpting doll is pretty close to the, yeah, I think I'll just use straight up living doll for the palm. Now, let me see if I have white I can mix into it. Exacto knife. Here. Scrape some of the scum off of here. Guessing this is gonna make it too bright. That's fine. White is really carrying. Okay. Damon, how are the Seahawks doing? I didn't even know they were still playing. It's still football season. Aren't they done with that yet? You guys know that the game that no one's ever heard of called The Flame in the Flood is on the Nintendo Switch now? I think it might still be on sale. I've had it forever on Steam, but I can't play games on my computer for some reason. I just, like, emotionally, psychologically, there's something that keeps me from playing games when I'm sitting at my computer. Like, I have to be either writing, working on video editing, sculpting in ZBrush. It's like a work thing. Well, or I could be doing Facebook, like social media stuff, but I can't bring myself to play games. Weird phenomenon. So I often end up buying a game twice. I'll get it on Steam because I'm really excited about playing it, and then it'll sit there for a couple of years, and then it'll come out on another system, specifically a handheld. If it's a handheld, I can play it. Because there are nooks and crannies in my life, like when I'm going to bed, or waiting in an elevator, or whatever, where I can whip out my Switch, or my PlayStation Vita, and those are the games that get played. So anyway, I was very excited. I got Flame in the Flood. The Flame in the Flood. It's great. Damon, you have that game? Have you played it? Oh, it's on your wish list. Okay. Ward says stream it to the TV. Yeah, TV's hard for a different reason, and it's like prime real estate, you know? It's like there aren't many games that are fun for Heather to watch me play, so very few of like, and when I'm not sculpting in the garage, I don't want to be sitting there hogging up the TV, taking Heather's entertainment away. I think that's why handheld is kind of my go-to system. I do want to get, I have a friend who did this. He got a iPad mini, and you can get a little controllers, like a console style controllers. You can socket onto the sides of it, and then you can stream is it called Dolphin or something? There's some software that will let you stream from your computer onto your iPad. So you could be playing your games on your computer, but the image is getting streamed to your iPad. And then I would be able to unlock that massive library of Steam games that I've never played. That would be really exciting. Still needs a little more. Ward says I use my NVIDIA Shield to play my PC games. Ooh, tell me about that. What's an NVIDIA Shield? My Shield does that natively. Is that a tablet? Because I would much rather have a non-Apple product tablet. I hate everything about Apple UX. Drives me insane. I may have to put that Shield on my Christmas list. Android tablet by NVIDIA. Okay. And can you attach controller, like console style controllers to it? Like on the sides of it, so it's like a Switch? It says I won their controller one. It's like an Xbox controller with a screen. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh my gosh. That sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to look into that. Oh, Dottie, I missed you. Hello. Glad you're here. Always good to have a Dottie around. And B60 THS1, greetings from England. Always good to have Englandish folks here from however many miles away. I'm listening to this audiobook that's read by an Englishman, and it's always funny to me how whenever they say a distance and then away, the emphasis has to go on the distance. And then the away is like, it's like it just tapers off. So it's miles away instead of miles away. Or yards away. Yards away. He also, instead of saying eat, he says et. If it's past tense. The pig ate it. It's cute. I like it. So more, does that tablet actually run the game on the tablet, or does it stream it from your PC? Because I imagine there's games that a tablet wouldn't be able to play very well. I mean, at least not as well as my desktop. Maybe there's an option for both. Mord says, Saturday my coworker rolled her eyes at me when I was doing inventory, and our Deceleration of Independence book was missing, and I yelled, has anyone seen Nicolas Cage? Oh boy, this is going deep. Let's see if I can puzzle out the meaning of this. Let's see, Nicolas Cage. Deceleration of Independence. Okay, I don't know what that book is. I do know who Nicolas Cage is. Nicolas Cage stole the Declaration of Independence. Oh, okay. You meant Declaration of Independence. Okay, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I was thinking, what is the Deceleration of Independence? Is that like talking about an erosion of our freedoms by the police state or something? Okay, now I'm following you. Mord says, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can stream it from your PC, or you can get into the game service and it streams right over the internet. Very good. Damon says, National Treasure the movie. Yep, I've seen both of them. Those are surprisingly fun, stupid movies. I guess a lot of Nicolas Cage movies are surprisingly fun, stupid movies. Okay, I think I've got pretty good similar tone here, so I feel a lot better about my clay situation. Now I can just pile it on and actually think about the art and the anatomy instead of, oh god, I gotta spread this so thin! Lord, if your spelling is horrible, what are you doing working at a library? Shouldn't they fire you? Someone asks for a book on the Declaration of Independence and you take them to the physics shelf about deceleration. Yeah, but if you're doing processing, doesn't processing require spelling? Right, you're like taking the books to and from places? Based on what they're called? Based on titles or authors' names? Is that clapping, does that spike your speakers? Let me know if I need to warn you guys every time I have to clap. Lord, usually you're cutting off authors' names. That doesn't seem like a good thing for organization either. What was I just reading that was about somebody who does processing in the library? Or it had a character. Name of the Wind. Has the main character needs to get into the library and it's off limits to him because he upset the library master because he was fooled into bringing a lit candle into the archives. And he says the clapping's not bad. Okay, good. I think I should not bring this particular clay to meet up with the other clay. I've got enough of the same mix to not have to do that. Break out some of the Primo stuff. Not literally Primo, because that is also a brand of polymer clay that this is not.
terror, the calling I crawl to see, releasing pressure from the skull, the thoughts and apathy. Frozen confusion clawing out for peaceful means.
See what a difference it is in color between the baked and unbaked. Amy says, Ambrose is a Jack A star star. A Jack A star star. Or Jack A asterisk 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 I? Asterisks? Yeah, there's definitely the what is that? What is not Weasley. Who's the bad guy from Harry Potter? The blonde, obnoxious kid. It's like almost exactly like him.
Disgraced by secret names and childhood games, tales of Croatian sacrifices. Oh, lies on fantasize aloud, but alone in solitary places. Alone in solitary places.
This finger's coming off at a really odd angle from the hand. I'm gonna need to, let's see, it looks like, get that to happen. I need the muscles to blend from down, under, up to there. Mord says, most of my jokes are eye rollers, but I make it up to them by feeding them homemade food. Oh, that's good. Amy says, I'm just popping in between SAT pieces. Victoria says, I wish Patrick would come out with a third book already. The anticipation is killing me. Yeah, I think I purposely haven't started the second one yet. So I was like, well, the third one's not going to be out for oh, God knows when. Might as well pace myself. Board says, the 18th, I made them homemade vegetarian chili, and yesterday took a coworker out for Japanese. Wow, you sound like a really nice coworker. And he says, the Ambrose thing will make more sense after you read that part of the book. Damon says, I just make candy. I'll also say it's a great song. Victoria says, Ambrose definitely reminds me of Draco Malfoy. Yeah, that's the guy. Where it says, would like to learn to make candy, but I love stews/chilies. Oh yeah, stews and chilies are the best. Oops, looks like I got some black metal stuck in my playlist. Okay, definitely needs a cough mint. I'm trying to getting as much of the padding parts done with this clay that I have plenty of. Oh, knew that was gonna happen. David says it's family tradition, so I think it's easy, but I've been making it every winter for some 25 years now. Nice. Yeah, I love stewing chili. It's so good. Especially with a big old piece of bread with butter on it. Mmm, bread and butter. Yesterday I worked like 12 hours straight, which is great for my diet because I just kind of don't care about food when I'm totally focused. So I only ate like 1,000 calories yesterday. Just great because the previous week I'd been eating between like 3 and 3,500 calories a day. So it's really hard for me to moderate. It's one of my worst features. Lloyd says, what kind do you make? Damon says, nougat, caramel fudge, divinity, peanut brittle, clusters, toffee, off the top of my head. Lloyd says, well, when you work with nothing but women, you better be nice, a nice person. Lol. Damon says, I give it all away. All right. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do this wound. It's going to be tricky because maybe I'm overthinking it. Let's see what happens when I just kind of build up the material around it. It's tricky because I've got this big muscle feature happening. Suppose I could just cover the thing and then slice it. Let me try that. Power Kwonjun says that Starbucks cup. I think it's a cup in the background is huge. Yes, it is. Because I overdo everything. When I drink my Diet Cola, I drink a lot of Diet Cola. DJ says, I'm all about soups. Finalized a butternut squash soup. Now I get some weird pumpkin to play with this week. Ugh. Soup. I'm not a fan of soup. Well, unless it comes with bread with butter. I'm pretty much a fan of anything that comes with buttered bread. Mord says I had to change my diet due to health and been eating a lot of soup. Yeah, just when I eat soup, I don't feel like I've eaten a meal. I don't feel satisfied at all. Stews, though, definitely feel like I've eaten something when I have stew. DJ says the secret with soups is finding the right balance of spices. Okay. I mean, maybe I've never had good soup. Kale. Oh, wow. I'll never be able to pronounce that. Mr. In says, people usually undersalt soups. Yeah, I do love the salt. Mordecai says, confession, I've only had Starbucks once in my life. I've probably had Starbucks twice in my life, as far as coffee. I do not like coffee, just like Mordecai. Power says, same with the donuts place, because we don't have that in my country. Donuts. And other fast food stuffs too. I've only had McDonald's, Burger King, and KFC, I think, here. Yeah, I had to cut way back on fast food. It's just, it's so bad for you. It's so bad for everything. Like, it's bad for the environment, it's bad for the economy, it's bad for your health. I mean, I guess it's great if you're like literally starving to death and you only have $2, then you could get, you know, 900 calories of food for $2, but other than that little edge case, it's not good. It's not good, you guys. I gotta taste good though. Okay, now if I have this all sorted out, and then I use my final skin color to cover it, let's see what happens, shall we? DJ says, Josh, you need to try my family's chicken soup. Got my grandma and great-grandma through World War II in Europe. Chicken soup is good, come to think of it. As long as there's like bread or crackers. Damon, you better be back in a few. Don't disappoint me. Power says, don't like coffee either. They had some nice smoothies or something like that though. Yeah. Heather works at Starbucks and she doesn't like coffee herself, and I don't like coffee. So it's such a waste. Mord says, coffee hurts my tummy. Can't drink much anymore. Aww. Torture poor little tummy Tom. Victoria says, would you ever go vegan? I will go vegan when they have lab-grown meat, which is practically a plant. I'm actually super excited for lab-grown meat. But I need protein. Like every plant-based diet that I've looked at, it's just like 80% carbs. And carbs do not work for me. Mord says, love my milk and eggs. I have some almond soy milk as of late. Power says, it's horrible that unhealthy food is so cheap. Yep. Sure wish it was the other way around. Sure wish the healthier food was for you, the cheaper it was. Of course, there's so much debate over what's actually healthy. I mean, once the food pyramid was shown to be a complete fraud, it's open season on every theory of nutrition out there. So I don't know what to believe anymore. All I know is that when I don't eat carbs, I get big muscles and my belly gets smaller. And when I do eat carbs, I'm exhausted and tired and feel miserable, and my muscles get smaller and my tummy gets bigger. That's what I know. What? Oh. Shane said hello to the stream. Ward says, I think it's under 20 bucks a pound now for lab grown. Yeah, it's gone down really fast. Power says, hey, they have like fake meat that actually tastes like meat and has the same texture as meat. Yeah, the problem with the plant-based stuff, again, is that it's a lot of carbs. Same with cricket, like insect meat stuff, or insect powder. Another thing I was excited to maybe work with, but yeah. I think that works pretty well. You can kind of see just a hint of the bone and muscle down in there. Victoria says soya is very high in protein. Yeah, see, there are a lot of things that are high in protein, but are also high in carbs. And that just won't work for me. That's the problem with almost all vegetarian diets that I've looked at. DJ says, how can you not drink coffee in the Pacific Northwest? I was there for a summer. The coffee was so good. I just have a baby palate. Like I don't like anything that tastes bitter. I don't like coffee. I don't like alcohol. I don't like most tea. I just like my stupid fake sweetened diet cola beverages. Okay, so since the top of the hand is going to be what is seen most clearly, I think I'm going to flip this over and detail out the palm, because if I accidentally squash it, it's not as big a deal as if I'm squashing the top while working on the palm. Mort says, I nom almond peanut butter to get good protein. Calories in versus calories out. I'm eating tons of carbs and losing weight. All about moderation, I think. Do what my brother does. He likes coffee in his sugar. So much sugar. I use a lot of artificial flavors. I do drink coffee in the mornings, and I put in half and half, and stevia in the raw, and cashew milk, and this like milk flavoring substance that makes it, that's like a cookies and cream flavored thing. So it's pretty much it's close to hot chocolate, but for much fewer calories, and it's got the caffeine of coffee. So and yeah, with the carbs thing, it's not so much about the losing weight. It's like I get super sleepy whenever I eat carbs. So I think it's just one of those things where different bodies metabolize things differently. Victoria says, my friend as well, 4 sugars and half the cup is milk. Yep. B60 says, all this food talk, I'm gone. Or what is GOM? Yeah, this food talk is kind of killing me, since yesterday I only had 1,000 calories, and I haven't eaten at all today yet. But on days off when I'm sculpting, I can usually go until the evening before I need to eat. It's different at work for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like I'm working less hard on my sculpture, but for some reason I can just push away the hunger and not think about it. Lord, yeah, people who are doing coffee black, that's incredible to me. I mean, a little bit of almond milk does nothing. It's like, yeah, just like a little bit of anything in coffee, I cannot tell the difference. It takes a lot of anything to drown out the coffee for me. B60 says I'm gonna bust out the tea and biscuits. Oh, pip pip. Jolly good. Thumb is ending up obese. I need to thin that out a little bit. Mord says I may add cinnamon or nutmeg to the grounds to cut bitterness. Does that work? I don't know. Like, there are subtleties that apparently are completely lost to me in all beverages. Like, I've had so many people try to convince me, no, you'll like this beer. It doesn't taste like alcohol. It tastes like apples. It tastes like chocolate. It tastes like... And it's like, nope. It all tastes like alcohol. And it's disgusting. Should I screw something up? This thumb seems really wrong. Maybe I just did the muscles. Yeah, I think I attached those muscles too high up on it. DJ says, I do tiramisu from Thanksgiving. Be right back. That sounds good. Need to start figuring out some proportions here. So first knuckle is here. Knuckle needs to be about here. And thumb stays thin up until there, so. says, my mother is like that. Can't taste anything different in booze. So I give her some of my bourbon, and she's like, how do you drink this? And I'm like, after the second cup, you don't notice the taste anymore. Yeah, I think there's a lot of effects that alcohol has on people that either maybe I possess naturally, so I don't feel the need for it, or I just don't like the way I feel when I'm feeling that way, and other people do like that feeling. I don't know. I've never felt the desire. Yep, squashed my wound. I knew that would happen more. So working on this, there's like, I worked really hard to do the fingers and this wrist stomp so that I'd have a place to hold on to while I was doing the whole hand all around. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It's such a distance between those 2 points, and I don't want to hold just the fingers because I'm almost sure that's going to end up cracking or breaking once I start, you know, putting pressure on it over here. So I have to like do this weird bridge maneuver or something. Yeah. Actually, once I'm working on the back, I can actually just put it on the table and hold it like that. Okay, maybe this will work out alright. Victoria says, the only way I can drink alcohol is straight up. Usually scotch, bourbon, or gin for me. Definitely quality over quantity, though. Yeah, since I can't tell the difference in quality, it makes no difference to me one way or another. TJ says, doesn't defeat the point of bourbon? Mord says, depends on the bourbon and how you drink it. Also, your goal on drinking. If I move this knuckle up a bit, that will help things. Help elongate the thumb. Which means I'll also need to raise where these tendons come from. DJ says, straight up if it's a good bottle, or mix it, warm apple cider plus bourbon or Irish whiskey. This other tendon is so weird. It comes from there around to the knuckle of your thumb. Like, it's hard for me to see it. I guess you can kind of see it there. It's coming from here and down there. So there's this one I can feel. This one I cannot feel as much. DJ generally prefers 2-note mixtures. Fancy schmancy. I think that's better. Where it says, I have a lot of distilleries where I live, or very close. Is there any place that doesn't have a lot of distilleries? Not an expert, but have picked up on this feeling that alcohol is a popular substance. I live really close to this weird valley. Just, you know, we're in the Puget Sound area, the Pacific Northwest, and kind of in the middle of just this random valley is 50 wine orchards and tasting places and whatever a place that bottles and barrels wine are called. Are those distilleries? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if wine is the same thing. Do you distill wine? DJ says Iran. Just a guess. Well, sure, I mean public ones, but more, that's right, no official ones. David says, alcohol a popular substance? Unpopular opinion there, Josh. Yeah, you can just call me Mr. Profound. I come up with these brilliant profundities, cultural analysis that no one else has thought of before. So this whole area here, you probably have it bulked up too much. It looks like most of that needs to be moved to the little webbing between the thumb and the forefinger. It'd be easier just to cut it away. Hey, I already forgot. What was the name of that, the NVIDIA tablet that you got? I need to put that in a search bar before I forget again. Cyber Monday is coming up after all. Yep. Garbage. Garbage, garbage. I should not have made those out of that clay. It does not work. NVIDIA Shield. Thank you. I'll write that down real quick. Shield. Is it on sale right now? NVIDIA Shield TV. What? What is going on here? Streaming media player controller. Oh, it must be the K1 8-inch tablet. $450. That's more than I wanted to spend.
In slow motion, all seems right, she said, as she closed her eyes, disappear into you and pretend.
I just bought a selfie drone, essentially, for $350 that I want to take on my trip with my son when he graduates. We're going to go to a bunch of national parks. I thought it'd be cool to get like some orbital 360-degree pictures in beautiful places. All of them have such mixed reviews, it's nerve-wracking to get them. Like, it seems like every single one has a problem of like randomly disconnecting because it has to be hooked up to your phone. Like randomly disconnecting and then either just like hovering there until it runs out of power or just straight up dropping to the ground. The one I got is like a black, it's essentially just like a black cage with fans in it and it folds up like a book. We'll see if it works. We'll probably be more stressed than it's worth. I thought it'd be really fun to do a video project, like all the cool places that we're at. If we set it to follow and then we run away from it, then we'll have footage of us running through beautiful locations, and then it'd be really easy to superimpose like some sort of monster that's flying and chasing us through all these different exotic locations. But that would be a fun vacation memory thingy-McDeely. Because it's impossible for me to simply live in the moment and appreciate what's around me. I always have to be looking for projects to do the whole time. It's ridiculous, you guys. Lloyd says their streaming service has lots of games, but not sure if they have all, but you can directly stream from your computer if your graphics card supports it. They have a few products, maybe more focused on their Shield box. It's been a while since I've used mine. Yeah, I just want to play my Steam library of games in bed. That's what I want. I don't care about anything else. this interesting array of folds on that pillow. So coming from the base of the thumb and radiating downward.
Only a girl with a game plan. I don't have the details all worked out. Well, I've got a lot on my to-do list. I wanna put you right on time, 'cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Let's meet in the middle somewhere. Only a girl with ambition. Well, there's a lot I want to do, see and feel. Well, I'm looking in my little date book, and I want to see a date with you, 'cause I want to be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Well, I think we've got a lot to go with here, baby. Someday I wanna have red-haired babies and holidays in the sand, but I'm not making demands, no. Expectations are more unavoidable. I'll be as close as I can be to what you need, 'cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Fire and ice, roll the dice, 666s, and I need my fixes, yeah. 'Cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Well, I think we've got a lot to go with here, baby. I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. A yellow night, hearts out of sight. Well, I'm seeing clearer than I've ever seen before.
Still gotta build up this area. Damon says, man, I'm such a sucker for a lady and a guitar. Yep. It's a friend of mine. It's pretty good. Actually did art for their band. It's a mother-daughter duo. It's really cute. Called Ruby Shoes. I don't know if that came across. But... Shoes spelled S-H-U-Z, of course, as it should be. Getting kind of burnt out and discouraged on this piece for some reason. Probably had something to do with 12 hours straight yesterday, and also being pretty starving. Did you know that your brain uses calories to think? Isn't that unfair? And apparently doing art requires thinking, which requires calories. It's the worst system. I'm gonna end up cutting this whole webbing off and replacing it with the official mix. I'm just keeping it there for now as I try to get all the proportions locked in. I wish I could bend my middle finger back as far as this guy. That'd be great for reference. Damon says, yeah, I saw it already, looked it up on YouTube. You should start a petition to have that changed. Brains using calories? I mean, there's a good side to it if you're trying to lose weight. All you gotta do is just think about how much you want to lose weight, and that burns all those calories, and then you don't have to work out, right? So, that's pretty cool. Okay, this is going too far. This is kind of a no man's land in here. I need someone to just stand here with a permanent claw hand for me to reference. That's way better than just taking a picture. Right? It's going to be interesting to see how well this blends. Gets baked. Randall White, good evening, welcome. I think maybe one of the things that's really bothering me about this thumb is how square it is. Just like, I think as I baked it, it squashed down a little bit. Wonder what happens if you carve on it. I'm guessing that ruins the surface. Let me give it a try. Although I guess once the nail is coming out of it, it'll probably ameliorate that issue quite a bit. Damon says, my grandfather had a pretty square thumbs, so he was a blacksmith. Are you sure he wasn't a Pixar character? They tend to have pretty square thumbs. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much out of juice at this point. I should probably go eat some soup or something. Drink some alcohol. Mix some alcohol and some soup with some coffee. Make some soup, coffee, alcohol. Yeah, I think I'm at a point where it's like, there's a point of diminishing returns when both your energy, when your energy is actually affecting your enthusiasm for overcoming problems, because you're always going to run into problems as you're doing art. And when you're hyped about it, you're like, yeah, we can solve this, we can do this. But then you hit a point where it's just like, I don't even know. Do I have to start over again? Please no. Yeah, so I may still be that way when I look at it again, but I think I'm hitting that point emotionally like 20 times in the past 10 minutes, which means it's a good time to just let it rest. Let it rest for a day. Come back tomorrow night, see how it's doing then. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. Thanks for that tip about the NVIDIA Shield. Definitely going to look into that. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. That'll be cool. Okay, bye guys.